Hey everybody, Henry Fernandez here. Welcome to the podcast. All of us at some point in time in our lives will pursue certain things. We go in pursuit of a better career, the love of our lives. Perhaps we are pursuing, financial independence. We really want to create wealth for ourselves and our families. Maybe it's the startup of a business, acquiring a degree. The list goes on and on. But I firmly believe that all of our pursuits will produce four things in our lives. And I want to talk about those four things because right now, as I'm speaking and you're listening, you're watching, I am quite sure you're on this pursuit of something. You know what it is. For some of you, it's many things, right? I want to make sure I help you to understand that there are four things pursuits will reveal to you. You will discover this as you go in pursuit of all those things. Right now, I'm in pursuit of so many different things, things that I feel in my heart that at this stage of my life, before I exit this planet, that I really need to accomplish certain things. Recently, most of you are aware that the Queen Elizabeth II, the longest reigning, leader of the monarchy in Europe, or in England, I should say, in Great Britain, 70 years reign. She passed away it was on Thursday, September the 8th, 2022. And when I got the news, every time I hear of death, and especially influential people, it brings back certain things to my remembrance, that we're fragile people, we're not eternal, that we all have an exit. We all have a day that we're going to check out. And it dawned on me at the time she took office to the time of her death and the time when she was born, how this woman was able to lead, if you will, a monarchy for so many years and led Great Britain into so many new territories. And I thought about it that she's gone now. She's lived her life, traveled to so many different places, acquired so many different things. And I then had to ask myself the question, Henry, you don't know the day nor the hour that you're going to check out of here. What are you doing between now and then? And then I oftentimes tell people, when you reach a certain age, it becomes more real, because we all are going to die. Unless we're still here when the rapture takes place. But we're all going to exit out of this world through death. So then, for the amount of years that you have left, you have to then begin to ask yourself the question, what are you going to do in that time frame? What are you pursuing from now until the date of your death? Will those pursuits be fulfilling? Will they align themselves up with the will of God? Will they benefit you anything? Will you profit from them? That you have to begin to ask yourself the question. And if it doesn't relate to you, and if you doesn't feel the urgency of it, I hope that you will have a change of mindset when it comes to that. That you have to begin to think, what are you doing for the next half of your life? What are you going to do? What are the steps that you're going to make? What are the places you'd like to visit? What things would you like to accomplish? Think about that. You have to make a decision on your pursuit right now, where you're going to go for the next half of your life. And with that, I had to share with you four things that I believe your pursuits will reveal to you. Four things your pursuits will reveal to you. Number one, it will reveal your desires. You say, well, that's kind of, crazy. Yes. Anytime you pursue something, that's a good way to discover your passions and to see clearly what your desires are. I have right now certain things on my list. I've written down a vision plan for my life. And if you have not yet done so, I encourage you, please take the time out. And even if it's for your own viewership, write down what you would like to accomplish 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years, 30 years, 50 years from now. What is your goal? What are you trying to achieve? You have to begin to think that way now. And then as you have written down the vision, what you will notice is, as you're in pursuit of those things, you will see that, wow, clearly your desires are spelled out. I never knew who Henry Fernandez really is about. Let's put it that way. I never knew who Henry Fernandez is, because I'm still here, until I looked at my vision board. And my vision board clearly showed me what my desires were. Showed me that my desires are, and I have the list of things, a lot of them are personal, and then there are others, what my desires are. Like, for example, I can tell you, I have a desire, a passion to share my faith around the world. I really do. That desire, I feel compelled that I am called to go to nations of the world. I have a niche for it. I have the ability. It's amazing how God will open doors. Watch this, to match your niche, to match your purpose, to match your calling, to match your abilities, to match your talents and your gifts. I'm telling you, God, if you're going to be a doctor, it's in you. If the niche is in you, listen, of course you're going to have struggles and so forth, but medical school, you will get through it and so forth. If you're going to be a business person, it's just a niche. There's certain things that God has blessed me with. I firmly believe that when God gave my generation, my father's generation, the last name Fernandez, was for a reason. It's amazing when I begin to look at my vision board and I see the places that God has already taken me and the places I desire to go to share my faith. I mean, I'm amazed. And my last name has opened so many doors for me. So many doors for me. There are people who thought I was Hispanic, and I've got a little bit of that in me, who never seen me before, but just by my last name, opened door, cleared their calendars to meet me. And some, of course, when they meet me, they're like, huh? But that name has opened doors for me. And the point I'm making is this. I was able to see, as God took me to Brazil, took me to Spanish speaking countries and so forth. And here it is. I enjoy speaking to people of a different language all over in Africa, in France, to be able to have an interpreter and an interpreter interpreting the message and the chemistry between us. That was my desire for years. I want to go and preach to different people who speak different languages. So, when you go in pursuit of God, I went in pursuit of my calling. I was called to go reach the nations of the world, right? Reaching the world for Christ, right? That revealed the desires of my heart. So, if you're in pursuit of something, listen to me carefully. If you're in pursuit of something right now, I will almost 99.9% guarantee I'm not talking about a pursuit that somebody pushed you in, because there are people who will push you into a pursuit that you're not passionate about. That's not your pursuit. I'm talking about what you desire, what you want to go after. 99.9% of the times, I will guarantee you those pursuits are truly your desires. That's it. If you're in pursuit of love, if you're in pursuit of money, it's your desire. It starts with a desire first. That desire will drive you to do certain things. And now I'm telling you, when I look at ministry life, I mean, that what God is doing in my life now, and the transitions and everything that he's doing, I'm aggressively pursuing those things because it's my desire. I understand the call, I understand the passion, and I'm going after it. And I'm telling you, lady, listen to me. There's a reason why God allowed you to hear this podcast. Sir, please listen to me. I'm telling you, if you can truly, truly define your pursuits, I promise you it will reveal all of your desires, the desires of your heart. Didn't the Bible say that God will give you the desires of your heart? That's it. He'll give it to you. He'll give you the passion to go after it. The second thing that I believe your pursuits will reveal to you, is your strength and your weaknesses. The second thing your pursuit will reveal to you are your strength and your weaknesses, right? I think a lot of people are only looking at their strength when it comes to their pursuit and not so much their weaknesses. And you have to balance your life with both. I think when you go after something, you're going to see your strengths. You know, you're going, or I always say strengths. Okay, let's change that. Whenever you go after something, it is going to reveal your strength. It's going to expose to you whether or not you are strong in that area, whether or not you are weak in that area. For example, I can tell you, when God told me I was going to be the spiritual leader, if you know my story, I resented it for years. I didn't want to do it. But after I embraced it, after it became my desire, I realized that it is God's will for me to prosper in this calling. So what I ended up doing is I went after it, and I discovered my strength. All of the power and the energy. I found, I was good at certain things. Man, one of the things that I say all the time that I'm good at administration. I think for me, I'm good more at administration versus speaking. Speaking, yes, I'm anointed to do that, but I have this incredible gift in leadership to administer. So I discovered my strength, that I have the ability in the most chaotic situation, in the most dysfunctional situation, in the midst of chaos, there is just this great leadership ability that comes forth with such clarity that I have the ability to lead. And for 31 years, I've taken a church literally with 2 people to what it is today with thousands of members. I've taken this church from its little, stage of having nothing to now God has blessed us that we have our own properties, if you will, that we can call home. Just the various things that I did, that's my strength to structure things correctly, right? And not everybody have that ability. But the only way I was able to discover my strength was I had to go in pursuit of what I was called to do. And you will never know where you're strong if you don't pursue where God wants to test you. Remember, strength can never be revealed until it is tested. Ooh, I love that. Strength will never be revealed until it is tested. How do I know you have strength? I take you to the gym and I say, pick up that 20 pounds, pick up that 30 or 40 and so forth. So when we talk about we want to be strong in the Lord, we want to be wise people, we want to be successful, you have to be tested because it is the pursuit, is whatever we go after, right, will prove what you're strong in. So if you're pursuing a relationship, that relationship will be tested to see how strong you are to overcome it. If you're pursuing money, let's see how disciplined you are to handle your money correctly, and let's see if you can manage it. And 5 years from now, you're completely out of debt, and you've got money in reserve, and et cetera, right? But also your pursuit will expose your weaknesses. And I can tell you on the same token, in my own personal life, I can tell you I have seen a lot of my weaknesses as I'm in this pursuit of my purpose. Because as you're tested, you will see, well, I'm not good at that. You see, that's a struggle for me. And all of us have this challenge, if you will, that when we're in pursuit of whatever we're called to go after, our desires and so forth, that we now have this incredible ability to know where we're strong and know where we're weak, and to be able to navigate through it all to be the best that God has called us to be. So hopefully you're getting this. Number 3, when you're in pursuit of your desires and the will of God, it will also expose your victories and your failures. Your victories and your failures. You see, whenever you, and this is where a lot of people get it wrong. This is where a lot of people get discouraged. When they fail, they're saying, they beat upon themselves and they think that, it's the end of the world for them. No, failure just simply means that you were brave enough to try something. Woo! You were brave enough to pursue something to try it. So maybe you were brave enough to try that exam. Okay, you failed it. Okay, well, the pursuit revealed that. You went after something, and it tells you that, hey, maybe, you didn't do a good job, whether you didn't study or didn't prepare for the test, or you just need to study more. It showed you your failure. Okay, well, you lost the house. Well, you went after the house. Well, what that did to you after you've gotten the house is now to show you, okay, are you disciplined enough to put your mortgage payments as a priority over the pleasures that you want to have, entertainment and all that kind of stuff. Failure sometimes is not bad. I can tell you, I got out of debt because I failed miserably at spending. I did. I really believe if I didn't have such a huge failure in my life with money, I don't think I'd be where I am today. But because I failed, I had enough sense to know that I'm not pursuing failure. I want to pursue great success. So that's what I need. Learn from my failures, right? Learn from my failures. So if I never did certain bad things, right, I wouldn't know what failure is like and how to become better. That's it. So stop beating up on yourself when you're failing. Failure simply means, okay, you tried it. What lessons did you learn? Are you willing to change? Are you willing to adjust and to do something different, right? So not only will it expose your failures, but it also will expose your victories. Come on now. From the day you were born, don't tell me you've never had victories in your life, right? You see, when you go after things, and all of us have plenty testimonies on how we went after certain things, and maybe we failed the first time, failed the second time, but you know what? We have testimonies upon testimonies that we have done well. We've been successful in so many different areas. Are you hearing me? Right? So embrace the fact that you had victories, but embrace the fact that you had so many failures. And I know that sounds absolutely nuts. Why am I embracing my failures? They're failures, and you can't change that. Embrace the fact that it taught you something. right? It taught you something. There's a lesson in it that you needed to learn. So it taught you something, and that's leads me to my fourth point, and that is your pursuits will teach you life lessons. Ugh. Let me tell you something. Everything that I have pursued in life, even God, has taught me valuable lessons in life. In my pursuit of God, it has taught me put God first. It has taught me apply the word and the word will work for you. Work the word and the word will work for you. Let me say it again. Work the word and the word will work for you. It has taught me in pursuit of business. It has taught me so many lessons, what not to do, what to do, who to trust, where to invest, how to have patience. It has taught me a whole lot of stuff, right? And my goal today is to empower you. And hopefully I did that the last few minutes I've spent with you today, is to try to get you to understand that when you go in pursuit of things, listen to what life is teaching you. Listen, life is teaching you what your desires are. Every day, if you start looking, stop for a moment, stop complaining, stop looking over the fence, look at your own life and say, okay, I'm going after some things. Are those things revealing who I am, what my desire and my life is all about? And then, have you discovered your strength and your weaknesses? Have you noticed your victories? Are you celebrating them? And are you learning from your failures to make adjustments to become better? And then, are you truly learning the life lessons as you go in pursuit of whatever you're going after? My friends, your life can be a whole lot better if you pay attention to what life is teaching you. We get so busy watching other people on social media. We get so busy keeping up with their business. We get so busy trying to impress other people. It's all about people, that we spend very little time on improving our own lives. I promise you, if you take the next few years of your life, focus on you, pleasing God, pursue Him and your godly desires, I promise you, life will teach you some valuable lessons. And in the end, you're going to win. Hopefully I helped you today. I know you were driving to work. You're in the parking lot now and you got to get in. So I got to quit. Thank you so much, man, for listening. Please forward this information to someone. Tell them about the podcast. And I hope to see you next time. Thank you. God bless.